Today you're going to hear about a ministry called His Food. And Jesus said in Matthew 25, I was hungry and you fed me. Did you know that you can be the hands and feet of Jesus in your community today? Many go through their entire life and never do anything special for anyone. Today you have the opportunity to become a part of a ministry that has fed families for over 20 years, changing people's lives one day at a time. Help us help them. Welcome to Crossing Paths. Well, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's show. This is really going to be a heartfelt and straight from the heart for me, Deborah, and also Pastor Al, about a ministry that's really transformed our lives. I know when I entered into the church, I've been a pastor of one church in Derry, Pennsylvania called Alpha Lion's Den Ministries for over 21 years right now. And when we started there, God really convicted me about being a community outreach. And He showed me the verses that are found in Matthew 25 that really transformed my life. And it says this is where He separates the sheep from the goats. And one of the main things that caused that separation is what these people were doing. And Jesus said to them, He said that I was hungry and you fed me. And when I read that, my whole life was transformed regarding community service. And it's really an honor and a privilege for me to be in the position I am now with Crossing Paths Ministries and to be able to bring these ministries together. And this is what God told us, that He would give us a platform that we would help parachurch ministries. So over the past 20-some years, we've been in food ministries, depending whatever that's been, and Deborah's going to talk about this a little bit more. But Deborah and Pastor Al are really running the side of HISfoodministries for us right now. And it's been a blessing, and I'm going to introduce my wife and also my assistant pastor to you, and I'm going to let them talk a little bit. We're going to talk together about the importance of this ministry and how it's changed our lives.
Okay. So, yes, we actually started over 20 years ago in the food ministry. Pastor Al and his wife, Dolores, were actually, we kind of all worked together at it.
We did.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we had some changes. Like you said, we've been involved in different forms of the food ministry. And His Food started about 11 years ago. And Pastor Al and Miss D took off running with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all at once, and but it was still a blessing, no matter if you were so busy. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter because at the end of the day, you could just look back at the day and you could say it was well worth it.
Yeah.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to do 3 days,
yeah.
And then COVID happened and we did 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Lord took Miss D home.
Yep.
And we weren't sure what we were going to do at that point.
Yeah, because it was sort of overwhelming.
Yes.
Because my partner was no longer there, and we always did things together.
Yep.
And in uniformity.
Yeah.
Amen.
And so when she left this world, then I felt like I was on an island that didn't know which way. You couldn't go different ways. You wanted to go different ways, but you didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. But then just God took over.
Yes.
And He showed the way.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. So we have actually, we weren't sure what we were going to do, and then we decided that we would just continue to go on. And we started with just a monthly. We still brought the food in weekly. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell them the vendors that we receive from?
Yes. Twice a week I'm able to go to 3 different Chick-fil-A's around the area. Mm-hmm. And once a week I go to KFC in Latrobe and Gordon Foods in Greensburg. And also we deal with the Big Lots. They are a very generous donator.
Yeah.
And they usually call us about once a month. No set pattern for that. Depends on how quickly they can get a bulk amount for us,
Yeah.
and I go pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do a distribution once a month where you have to register for that. And that is the third Thursday of the month. And we have a time slot between 2:30 and 5:30.
Yeah.
Well, 2 to 5:30. And so you have to sign up for that one. And that's like our community. That's like what we're talking about, like locally, what we do. And we want to help other churches do the same thing. So, and Pastor Ron, you could call in the 1-800 number and find out how you can get involved in your area with those same type of vendors. And then we do get food in, like Pastor Al said, on Mondays and Thursdays on a regular basis. So we just open that up to the community to come in and get what they need. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to say we're not just a handout, we're a hand up, and we want to be there for you as far as our local communities and the different variety of foods. We are not a food bank. I want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
We're not a food bank. And some of the products that we get are really impressive to me. So what we do is we take the donations or whatever we get from some of these ministries, if it be a Chick-fil-A, phenomenal nuggets and breast and salads and all the things that we get from them is greatly appreciated. Same with Kentucky Fried Chicken or Big Lots. But in addition to that, we like to purchase food, whatever we can purchase. And that's where we rely upon you guys as far as donations to be able to help us do that. And partnering with Crossing Paths is going to be a huge thing for all of us to be able to, not just our church, but other churches who have called me and said, hey, can we work with you guys, or how can we set up a food distribution at our church? And so we want to be there for you also. So please dial that 800 number. It's 855-981-9777. It's always on the screen. Matt does a great job with that.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything, Pastor Al, about how over the years, things that have touched your life, maybe through it?
Yeah, sure. The one biggest thing that always comes to my mind would be people in need. Pastor Ron usually can get a call, Deborah can get a call, but it always reverts to coming to my cell phone. And I have their phone numbers from people who maybe they don't have work. They for whatever reason, they may have been left off of work, or it might be at a time where school starts and they need to be able to spend the money for school clothes and different things like that. And they don't have enough money to go around to be able to buy the food as well as clothe the kids. So I get the call and I meet with them. I talk with them and I figure out a time that two of us can just, the family and myself can get together, and I give them whatever I can out of our food ministry to help them along. But the thing with that is that how it makes me feel, how in my heart that that's what I want to do. I want to be able to be somebody that God's looking for, and He's going to say, "Well done." I enjoyed that.
Amen.
And that's what I want to look forward.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see that or feel that. I want to feel that in my heart.
Yeah. We're His hands and feet right now. One of the most exciting things also is just to get to pray with people. So we're not a super large food outreach, and sometimes it's the same people every single month, so you get to know them really well. Sometimes it's, people, you might meet them once, that's it. We just had a family who actually contacted us at the end of their harvest, and we actually went out to glean in their garden. So we are very thankful to them. And for 2 weeks, we had food where I would just go. I was Ruth the gleaner, and we would go and we would pick it, bring it in, and just send text out to people who have been on the list, and then they could just come in and And that was something brand new. And just the other day, though, the one lady who actually worked with me helping glean the garden, her husband's going through some cancer right now. And so I got to pray with her. And that's the most important thing, is just the lives that you've touched.
Touching lives. That's it.
Exactly.
Amen.
Yeah. So
It just, Deborah mentioned, and it's in the verses that I talked about we're the hands and feet of Jesus.
amen.
And that's what this is all about. I mean, if you want to be able to touch your community or reach your community, we know how to do that. We're willing to help you to do that in any way. I mean, you can dial our 800 number and I'll help you if you're a church anywhere. Do that. But if you're an individual that really wants to be the hands and feet of Jesus, this is the way you do it. I mean, it's really through ministries just like this. Matt and I just visited a church here just recently, and they're feeding, over 500 people at a Thanksgiving dinner. And it really touched me. I mean, I watched them and I watched these people and I see, like Pastor Al said, and that's what this is about. I want you to see the heart of our ministry, because this is what God's called us to do. He's given us the platform, and it's taking each individual community and being able to transform that by being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ, letting those people know
That may be the only Jesus that
that's
they
it.
see.
That's
Because
it.
a lot of them we do not see in the church. But when they need help, they do reach out for
Amen.
prayer. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, we're serving them with, listen, no ulterior motives, none. And that's what the food ministry really is. If you're in the food ministry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll work with you and we'll help you any way that we possibly can, because this is how you meet the needs of the people. It's just not about having them in your church on Sunday. It's about being there and serving them during the week, taking those phone calls, getting the food to them, and doing what you can to help them.
That's church.
I know, that's definitely church. But listen, we got to take a break. Deborah has us something to think about. It's a great one that you're really going to enjoy right after this break. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
It's an honor to announce that Crossing Paths has partnered with HISfoodministry. HISfoodministry was founded by Pastor Ron, and our church has been in the food ministry for 20 years now. We have distributions weekly as well as monthly. We can help assist you in setting up a distribution center at your church. We have been working with several of the largest food franchises in the United States, such as Chick-fil-A, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Gordon Foods, and Big Lots. We offer a wide variety of good, high-quality food. We are not a food bank. We are not a handout. We are a hand-up. Some of the items we offer through our program come from the franchises already mentioned. In addition to these, we purchase juices, milks, fruits, vegetables, and whatever else the Lord places in our hands for that month. We try our best to offer families a well-balanced variety of foods, fruit, and vegetables throughout the year. There are no restrictions or qualifications you must meet. We are called by God to be a servant to our communities. This new partnership with Crossing Paths will help us help other individuals as well as churches and their outreaches provide food in their communities. God has given us this platform of television and social media to do just that. So we are asking you to donate today to help us provide good quality food for families. It's simple. Just go to HISfoodministry.net and make a $50 donation. For every $50 you donate, you will help us feed a family for a month. All donations cover food and operating costs. Please put Crossing Paths in the comment box. Thank you for your support, and may God bless you richly for your donation today.
Deborah, once again, that was a great something to think about. So thank you for sharing that with us today. And as I said, we're just here today so you can see the heart of this ministry. And that's what's most important. As we said, we've been in the food ministry for over 20 years now. I mean, just think about that. Think where you were 20 years ago. That'll give you the perspective on really what we're doing. We've been in this ministry every single week since then. And just what we want is we want your help in any way that you possibly can, if it's prayerfully or financially or whatever you feel led to do to help us change people's lives, not just at our church, but others, because we really want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And speaking of that,
Yep, we want to introduce you to two more people that are the hands and feet of Jesus in our ministry.
Amen.
And that is Chris and Lisa Ballou.
amen.
So just tell us like how you got involved and what the ministry means to you.
Well, first of all, I like to be the hands and feet of Jesus,
Amen.
and I wanted to do what I could for the church and go out to the community to have whoever needed help with food or anything like that. So
Yeah, sometimes we get some clothes. Like recently we got clothes and
Right.
slippers, right?
right,
Yeah.
and anything that can help people, I feel that that's why I'm there. And so when this opportunity came to me, I knew it's where I was supposed to be. And so whenever I can to go in and assist with Pastor Al, or if somebody comes along that from my community, because I live a little distance from the church, I know what I can offer to them and let them know it comes from my church, and it's an open door to let them know about Jesus.
Yeah, share the gospel.
Now, do you deliver to your community, or how does that work? Do you get the food, or how to?
People will call them and let them know we have products for them that they were looking for, and they will be at our door so quickly, because I mean, what's provided from food from the church it's awesome, and people know what a deal that they get. The prices are ridiculous at the stores, so we save them and we help them, and we can minister to them that way.
Yeah, there was a calling. I mean, why we got involved with the church. And it just, we, like Lisa said, we're the hands and feet of God. And something kept telling me, why am I getting called to the church? And I wanted to get involved, but I wasn't sure what it was. And after losing my job, I just took over going to the church almost daily, doing some maintenance work. But then I also wanted to get involved with Pastor Al. And, people think just by delivering food, what's the big deal? But, we touched a lot of people it started from Derry to Derry, just in the community.
Amen.
And then now we're delivering food clear down to Connellsville.
Yeah, you guys live in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, we live in
So
Mount
you do
Pleasant.
come a distance.
And, we went to the church and said, hey, if we would get a freezer at our place and we could keep a lot of the frozen stuff instead of running from Mount Pleasant to Derry. And it just so happened, we
The
got a
Rite
freezer,
Aid blessing.
got a beautiful freezer donated, and now we can keep it stocked at our place, and we touch a lot of people in Connellsville, Scottsdale, Mount Pleasant, our community. I mean, it's just amazing what food does. I mean, we've met so
Opens
many
the
wonderful
door.
people,
Amen.
and it's just a blessing. I mean,
Oh, Jesus took the 5 loaves and 2 fish, right?
He most
And,
certainly
and he
did.
fed them, and that's just what you guys are doing. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys are out there doing it and delivering the food. And I mean, I know, I see what you guys do, and I really appreciate it. I really do, to see what you're doing. So is there any other, let's talk about, you said you delivered, so the people know it's probably at least about a 30-minute to a 45-minute drive,
yep,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
35 minutes.
Yep. So what I like to do is I like for the other ministries and churches to be able to see this as an outreach for your community, because we know how many people now and phone calls that we get through Crossing Paths where ministries are struggling and they want to know how to keep their doors open. And this is just another avenue to be able to reach your community, and like they keep saying, to see the hands and feet of Jesus actually in action. I think it's just a great
Yeah.
blessing.
Lisa, the other day on Monday, was able to supply for a family who lost
Yes.
a member.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about that. What was that?
The day before on Sunday, I heard that somebody that I know very well had lost a brother. They were very close. And I wanted to be able to do something and provide them with something. So when I went on Monday to assist Pastor Al, I let him know that, you know, I know somebody very close that lost somebody, and I would like to provide the family with some food, some salads. And it was just a blessing to be able to provide them. You know, they weren't at home. At least they didn't open their door at the time because they were going through
Yeah.
a lot. But I left it at their door. I sent them a text, and they were so grateful. They replied to me in a text. And just to be able to do stuff like that for people who aren't expecting it and are going through hard times, maybe not financially, but it is so nice to touch people in ways that the day before I would have never thought I would have done something like that. It just is
Yeah.
spurred a moment type thing. And, you know, you just,
God
It
always, he always supplies.
yeah,
um,
Yeah,
the
and
situation.
That
Yeah.
family, it just so happens that a family member, they started donating a bunch of like chocolate milks and strawberry milks and
Yeah.
orange juice and apple juice, the little containers. They were just donate crates of it to us, and you know we passed that out.
Yeah.
So, you know, what comes around, you know, it goes around, and it's
Yeah.
it's a wonderful, wonderful.
Like, what are some of the items you guys get? I know you get chicken from Chick-fil-A and all that, and just name some things that you're giving to people.
salads, fruit cups, yogurts, chicken wraps, eggs.
Produce.
Yes, produce. I mean,
It sounds like
there's-
you've been eating all the boxes.
Well, my wife, yeah.
There's so many things. Slippers. This past
Yeah.
week, slippers.
Yeah.
Which everybody loves slippers.
Yeah. Clothes, jackets, there's
Yes.
different things there
Yeah.
people get all the time.
Yeah, and what we were sometimes, like with the clothing, we can't, we don't have the facility to keep that, so we pass that on. You know, we were able to bless the ministry in Ligonier that's open every single Monday. So
Yes, even it's
exciting.
ministries
Yeah.
working with ministries.
Yeah.
It's people working together with people, and that's what I want you to see. This is not preempted. This is just an open show with people just sharing their hearts with you. And I wanted it to be that way so you can really see the heart of the people in this ministry. That's what makes it special. Because listen, it takes a special person to do this type of ministry. It really does. It's just not a Sunday thing, it's a life thing. And when you talk about being the hands and feet of Jesus, change your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, we have a couple in Delmont that does deliveries. We have a couple in Jerome, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're, you know, it's,
We're branching out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
our
that's what we want.
community
Yeah.
is
Expanding.
expanding. Yes.
Expansion's
and-
good.
Yeah. God supplies.
So Chris still's developed relationships with guys at his workplace where he was, even though he's not there, they're still coming and getting the food. You're still
Oh, yeah,
helping
absolutely.
those families.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and like I said, you know, after 25 years, I lost my job, and I was so scared. Like, what am I going to do? And God put me with you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. I have no fear. I just,
Amen.
it's in God's hands, and this is what this is what He meant for me to be. You know.
Amen. It's your part ministry, Chris.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yep.
And people look from the outside and don't believe it's a blessing or don't see it as a blessing, but it is a true blessing to us and the church, and that's why we're here. We're here to bless Jesus and glorify Him.
You know, the Bible tells us that if you feed the poor or lend to the poor, it's like lending unto the Lord. And He owes that to you.
Yeah. I mean, like Pastor Al was saying, there's a lot of running around involved, and you know, it's a lot of work during the day, a lot of driving and meet people and
Trying
but
to
at
find
the
the
end of the
best
day,
deals.
you just
To
you
supplement,
know you
yeah.
did something good.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
it's amazing.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, we are going to take a break right now, and we'll come back to hear Pastor Ron's perspective.
20 years ago, I founded His Food Ministry as a way to help those in need in middle-class America. In this program, the average middle-class family is able to save the money that they would spend on food to pay other expenses. His Food Ministry is not a handout, it is a hand up. There are no restrictions or qualifications. If you eat, you qualify. We offer a well-balanced box of food to feed a family every month, as well as weekly distributions as needed. Help us help others. Simply just go to hisfoodministry.net and make a $50 donation. For every $50 that you donate, you will help us feed a family for a month. Please put Crossing Paths in the comment box. As His Food Ministry partners with Crossing Paths, please prayerfully consider joining us. Thank you very much. In Matthew 25:31, it says, "When the Son of Man comes in His glory and all the angels with Him, then He will sit on the throne of His glory. All the nations will be gathered before Him, and He will separate them one from the other, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And He will set the sheep on His right hand and the goats on His left." This will happen someday in the future. Today, you can choose what side you are on. Then the King will say to those on His right hand, "Come, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." This is exactly what Pastor Al and Chris were talking about, where the Lord would say, "Enter in, well done, thy good and faithful servant." Listen to this. "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me." Just think about that. The Lord is going to say that someday. "I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer Him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you were hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the King will answer and say unto them, "Assuredly I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, you've done it unto me." We want to thank all of our viewers for their prayers and support. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. God has called us together to give churches, ministries, and individuals the platform they need to share their testimonies with the world. We thank you for helping us help them.